Clouston's Pier opposite, a very historic pier, a little set of steps, and that forms the southern boundary of this Noust. And behind me, up the slip, is Clouston's Close, and all the houses in Clouston's Close, my house 94 Victoria Street, or rather my sister's house 94 Victoria Street, and people in the deli, all have right of access to this Noust. It's on their title deeds, and also of course reviewed law here, so that the properties along this foreshore would own to the end. So I'm 100% in favour of a sewage upgrade. I mean, you can't keep putting raw sewage into the sea. We've been expecting this upgrade for some 20 years, so now it's finally come. And the Sinclair's men are doing great work up on the land side. I understand that the contractor, that the Lease Marine, was short of time here because they had a barge on hire, they had a crane on hire, not that many big tides available, so the last big tide they were in here dug out best they could, and they're working to the spec they're given. Unfortunately they weren't able to dig out enough, so the concrete matting and piping and the diffuser that you see are all standing much prouder than what we would want, at least a metre prouder. But I would question the very technology they've used. One of the things that's causing the problem is the outfalls of plastic pipes that float. I think in this historic location, a metal pipe buried in a metre deep trench to a smaller diffuser further out at sea would make much less impact on this house. And I think the planners are remiss in that the people who have a legal right to use this house were never consulted, the owner of the pier was never consulted, and if I hadn't actually witnessed this I wouldn't have believed it. It's, suddenly a barge arrived and we got a huge delivery of concrete, and it was hurriedly done, and it's turned out to be a bit of a nightmare really.
Sandy, what is the pier used for now?
Well, the main user is Willie Sinclair, Willick Sinclair, who owns the Merlin. He's a man in his 80s, he's fished for 60, 65 years, was coxswain on a lifeboat for many years. That's his pier. He bought the pier off Arthur Terrace, who used to own the house I occupy, and then that shed is a former sorting office from the old post office that they moved there. They make the creels in there, and he's got a right to come in and pick up his gear. He also used to ebb out his boat there for anti-fouling. I mean, in latter years with the cranes, they tend to lift them out by crane, but in the old days he used to go in there for anti-fouling and repairs. He would now have a job getting in there, and if they level that off, he's losing a metre of water there. I mean, he's a typical old-fashioned Arcadian man, reticent, doesn't want to complain, doesn't want to make a fuss. But what they've done to his pier is really quite shocking. And the rest of us here are just lesser users. I have a little dinghy I moor out there on one of these travelling moorings back to the shore. My neighbour Doris does canoeing from here, but anybody that lives in this location has a right to come and use this stuff. So Willick for fishing and the rest of us for pleasure.
And has anybody from the council been out to see you concerning your views?
Well, not yet, but I mean it's. I'm surprised that. I mean, we're now trying to close the stable door after the horse was bolted. This all should have been addressed at the planning stage, and that's really going to fall back. The contractors at the end of the day do what the engineers and the planners must. I'm not faulting the contractors. It's the planning stage that has let us down.
So what would you like to see happening now?
Well, I mean, there's two things that can happen. Either this overkill spec needs to go down a metre and the diffuser needs to go out further, or we need to take a different approach, and I would suggest a metal pipe buried to a smaller diffuser. But one of these two options needs to take place. It cannot possibly leave the man's pier in that state.